Welcome, welcome, welcome to the pod. You are listening to What the Reality with me, Cassia Roberts, and this is your Toxic Tuesday episode. I have some lights on in the background, even though I use a blurring background. Maybe you guys can see a little Christmas festive cheer if you're watching me on YouTube. Very easygoing, casual today. I want to call it a casual Tuesday because I have a hoodie on. I popped on a red lip and a little concealer under my eye, and I don't even think I needed that. It has been exhausting. I had to pick up my mom from the airport and my nephew from the airport late Sunday night. Keep in mind, I went to happy hour on Sunday, but I knew that it would have been fine because, I had to be at the airport within a certain amount of time. So I was like, okay, perfect. Their flight got delayed. When isn't a flight getting delayed, pushed back? So an 11 p.m. pickup went to 2 a.m. Thank the Lord I am remote on Mondays, but it has been a struggle. And now I have to bring this energy for Toxic Tuesday. There's energy, but the energy, I'd much rather be in my bed, my humble bed. I did take a nap during my break today because I'm remote on Mondays and I'm just like, I need a nap. And you know what? I also, I like to it's the end of the year and I have time I need to use. So I like to take off a spontaneous day in office. So I did take off this, I took off an additional day coming up this week. So that'll be perfect. So yeah, bear with me if you're on YouTube. I look a little crazy. I look at my natural state, no blush on, but we did put a red lip on, so we at least match the red nails. But we're gonna truck through today. I'm gonna say, in terms of episodes we're talking about today, Potomac episode was okay. We'll talk a bit about Potomac. There's so much stuff on right now. I want to give my thoughts on VPR, the reboot. But if I'm being honest, I'm not really recapping that. I'm going to talk about Beverly Hills because I have some thoughts. We're going to recap this. So we're going to talk a little bit about everything. The only thing we're really not talking about is Married to Medicine. I didn't get a chance to watch that yet. But honestly, it's been a lot going on. Let's get into these reality topics. Today episode may be just like a good hour. There's not much going on, but we do have some reality topics. We have some reality updates, and I want to talk about what I'm currently watching. So I guess I will start with what I'm currently watching. I'm watching Owning Manhattan on Netflix. If you've never watched this, the second season that's out currently. Amazing. This is Ryan Serhant, and he used to be on Million Dollar Matchmaker on, not Million Dollar Matchmaker, Million Dollar Listing on Bravo. I never got into Million Dollar Listing, but I know this frosty looking guy. So when he started doing Owning Manhattan on Netflix, it's the correct universe of real estate, I imagine. It's not what the selling Sunset, selling the OC, selling the city is. Like, it's not these fluff pieces with just a lot of manufactured drama, these women in these skimpy outfits. If you really want to watch a real estate reality show where they're actually doing business, they're actually getting into it, they're aggressive AF with their offers and stuff, I'd recommend you watch Owning Manhattan. And also, it's just good to see Ryan Serhant back on our screens. And he's like literally building up his company. And yeah, I just think it's more authentic. The women dress a lot better for showings, a lot more appropriate. It doesn't make me question if they are doing some other work or offering some other services. I'm on episode 6, I think. Only thing is with Netflix is like, there's only 8 episodes. I'm also watching, which isn't new, but I've finished Sex in the City like a couple weeks ago, and I like to just watch something in the background, whether it's like Gossip Girl, Ugly Betty, Vampire Diaries. I put Younger on, and I remember when that was airing on TV. I loved Younger so much. So I'm currently watching that as well. And then all of the reality TV inside. I will keep saying it if you are not watching it. I definitely recommend you watch Welcome to Derry. It is the origin story of it, the clown Pennywise, and essentially why Pennywise has been terrorizing children in Derry since his existence. So I think that's really good. A lot of people compare it to Stranger Things. Speaking of Stranger Things, I do think I'm going to get started into that. But before we get into really the reality topics, while we're talking about Netflix, HBO Max, Netflix offered to purchase Warner Bros., which HBO Max is under, for literally $82.7 million. Like, we knew Netflix had money. We just didn't know Netflix had that much money. I don't know if this is a rumor just because I'm on Welcome to Derry Twitter right now. It's kind of like TikTok. When you look up one thing, your whole FYP becomes that on Twitter. I kind of don't like it. Like, I get it. So I don't know if it's true, but they were saying like Netflix was going to make Welcome to Derry like a series regular thing. Like, it's not going to be a limited series. I didn't know if it was going to be a limited series on HBO Max, but like, keep in mind, like, once you guys start watching it, we're just getting the origin story. We haven't even gotten to the movies and stuff yet of like those kids and their disappearance, like who are those parents, all this stuff. We're just getting to like the root of all of this. And I feel like we could even go back further. There's going to be so much to expand on. So, hey, if Netflix does want to bring on a second season of Welcome to Derry, I'm here for it. Like I said, the people are comparing it to Netflix. I mean, to Stranger Things. I don't watch Stranger Things, but the people are comparing it to Stranger Things. So the gag is Netflix offered to buy Warner Bros. Warner Bros. Is in a vulnerable position. But what I didn't know is that Paramount actually had money. So we have went... Did I say million? I guess I meant billion. 72 billion is crazy. Doesn't even sound right. I'm wondering if this is a typo. It is billion. Okay. So Netflix offer was 72 billion. Now Paramount just put an offer for $108 billion. It's giving HBO Max is going to have another rebrand and they're going to be very upset. Billion? I thought they said million. That is a lot of money, guys. That is a lot of money. I'm actually shocked. Okay. That's in terms of streaming news. Let's get into these reality topics. So another exclusive with People Magazine did break over Kandi Burruss's and Todd Tucker's marriage woes, their relationship. And, you know, I have talked about it on previous episodes. Make sure you guys give those a listen. But I was like, I wonder if something else has happened. I know they like to enjoy third parties in their relationships. I'm like, I wonder if something is going to come out that Todd... Who is Todd? I wonder if something was going to come out that Todd or Kandi was, you know, talking to someone, communicating with someone else outside of the relationship. And lo and behold, we have it. We have an exclusive with People Magazine. Kandi is giving these exclusives to People Magazine. Yeah, he was talking to other women behind her back, and she had no knowledge of it. She had no idea. And this has been a long time coming. So this is what the People Magazine article says. New allegations are emerging about Kandi Burruss. Shocking split from Todd Tucker. Quote unquote, Kandi and Todd have been having marriage troubles for a while now. Kandi was not happy because she found out that Todd had been talking to other women behind her back. She had no idea, a source told People. That is the statement. That is the statement. And then Kandi, unfortunately, does look very defeated these days on social media. She looks very dire, exhausted. You know, there's a current custody battle going on. He's essentially saying he wants full custody of the children. Todd is also alleging that he wants to revisit the prenup conditions because he felt as though he was forced to sign right before their wedding. But Kandi, being the smart woman she is now using the footage from Kandi Gets Married when she had that spinoff from Atlanta. Kandi's Getting Married or something, or like Kandi and Todd Marriage Edition, whatever the show was called. She's using that footage to present it in front of the judge to say he was not coerced to, basically sign the dotted line for this prenup. It was not in a rush. He was able to talk it over with his lawyers. So I think that has been handled. The custody thing, she is saying she has multiple family, and everyone's able to chip in. It's never been an issue just because she's a working mom, because that's what his next challenge is. And I was saying he is definitely going to use this to pocket the child support money. And I just feel so bad for Kandi because in retrospect, everyone, like your mom was telling you not to do this. And I think she kind of just stayed with him to kind of prove all of us wrong. And I would just feel even more bad, worse, because I just feel like her mom's probably rubbing it in her face. She's like, I told you not to do this. I told you not to do it. And now Todd, for the lack of better terms, is showing his full butt. He is taking advantage of the fact that Kandi is a working woman. And I also hate because Riley was also very vocal in them having more children. She's like, you guys work enough as it is. You're not going to be able to take care of these kids. It seems as though a lot of foreshadowing. It makes you want to go back and watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I always thought Todd was an opportunist. I just always got the feeling from him. But I knew Kandi wanted to be in a relationship. I always gave them 3 years. Now that they've reached 10 years, I don't know what that means. I mean, they do have a prenup, so I'm hoping her tracks are covered. On Twitter, she was like, right now is a pretty crazy time. Because the fan was asking her, I think she was talking on her series or something. She does something, I think it was like Amazon Live. Yes, Amazon Live. She said, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm up and down. Obviously, going through divorce is definitely not the easiest thing. Sometimes you're cool, then sometimes you have your moments of sadness. I'm all over the place. Sometimes things just don't work out. It's just is what it is. She says she has no regrets though. But I don't know. I just think it's going to get very messy. I think we can already see Todd is aiming for the money. He is on vacation currently in the Dominican Republic. Okay, I don't know if it's the Dominican, but he is currently on vacation in a tropical area with his shades on, relaxing, while Kandi's over here hustling, working. That is the story for you. Okay, what else is going on? Something else that's going on. And I fully support this. So we all know the stuff that's going on with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I have not watched that reunion. I'm hearing a lot of people said the reunion was terrible. Stassi Schroeder was the host. And I'm hearing it was very rushed. I didn't watch last season's reunion. I don't know why they bother having reunions if they're already filming for their next season and then you can't address certain things at the reunion and you just wait for them to play out the next season. Because I'm hearing a lot of times they were like, you're just gonna have to keep watching. But it's like, we're at the reunion, but it's like you guys pick up cameras a little too fast. Like, I appreciate how fast they pick up cameras, but they almost pick up cameras too fast because you can't even disclose stuff during the reunion. I don't know how Stassi's performance was. I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch it. I didn't watch last reunion because I'm like, y'all didn't even address anything. But the biggest revelation that has came from this is that it was filmed too early because we didn't get a chance to talk about Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles aside, Marciano is now suing Demi for defamation, and I think he should be doing that because she is calling him a sexual abuser and really went on a smear campaign. And it seems as to me, Demi does not want to admit that she crossed a boundary in her marriage, or she does want to admit it, but maybe something else happened. She's afraid for this to come out. And now she's trying to smear his name, because it's not even a good name. She's just trying to smear his name. And she's trying to cover her tracks. And now you're like throwing anything at the wall. Now you're saying this man was physically like trying to do stuff with you that you did not want. When we saw the text messages, you sent a picture of Brett's daughter, because she's not your daughter. I mean, she's your daughter, but it's like you sent a picture of your husband's daughter to him praying. You were flirting with him a lot, talking about sexual innuendos. You were kind of giving him the green light. Like I said, it comes to moments, obviously, you give a green light and then you're like, red light, and then they should respect that. From my understanding is this was a kiss. And now she's saying she was sexually assaulted from this kiss. And an unwanted touch. But she still was texting him and stuff. So Demi may not be on the next season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, because she very may well be ruining mom talk. Playing around like this. You only said this once it came out that you had a flirty, bantering relationship with him. You were trying to point all fingers directed towards Jesse. Now that it's came out that you were also inappropriate with this man, now all of these allegations are coming out. That's all I'm saying. Yes, we believe women over here, of course. But we gotta call a spade a spade. Demi is doing some damaging stuff, and this is how people genuinely do get the short end of the stick. I want to read this article by E to talk about really what's in this lawsuit. So it says Marciano said that he's accusing her of defamation for alleging that he engaged in an unwanted touch with her earlier this year. Marciano said that Demi damaged his reputation by falsely labeling him a sexual predator. According to legal documents obtained by E on December 7th, while filming a crossover episode of their shows in Italy, Marciano said he kissed Demi, though the mom talker, who has been consensual. I just lost my place in this article. Wait, I think it just jumped. Okay, though the mom talker, who has been married to husband Brett Engelman since 2021, said any physical contact between them was unwanted. So he's saying that they did kiss, and now she's saying it was unwanted. In his legal docs, Marciano said their off-camera kiss was consensual, alleging the 31-year-old reframed the obviously consensual interaction as one of the sexual misconduct and then as sexual assault to create a storyline for reality TV. He went on to say that the pair kept in touch after their Italy trip, submitting alleged texts from her in his lawsuit. Furthermore, his lawsuit said that Demi shared her location with him, adding that behavior confirms a continued relationship, not a person reacting to sexual assault. I agree with that. Demi's rep had... Okay, so everyone is going to handle... Okay, so she said everyone is going to handle these kinds of situations different, she said on the show. You never deserve unwanted touch, no matter what it looks like, no matter what your relationship was like before or after. Unwanted touch is unwanted touch. Demi looks every bit... She just looks terrible to me. Like, her face looks crazy to me. Yeah... It does not make sense to me. Okay, so this is what she said during the reunion, because I didn't watch it. She said, I will never put myself in a situation like that again, and that sucks, especially when you've been in that situation and brings up old stuff. Then you start really blaming yourself for what they did. It's more painful to not be believed and to say it and have to go over it and over it. Blah, blah, blah. You got caught up. You kissed this man, and now you're saying this man unwantedly kissed you. But my thing is, if he kissed you, this is what Demi's not making sense about. If you had unwanted touch, why are you sharing your location with him after this incident happened? Why are you still texting him these type of text messages? You guys are still flirting. Why not just cut him off? If you felt a little weird about that, you're like, maybe we shouldn't have done that. I don't know. I felt violated. Why are you sending your location? If I feel violated someone, the last thing they are going to have is my location. Demi is a liar, and that's why I don't know if she's going to be on the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I really think she blew up her spot. She let the first season fame get to her head. Second season, she thought she was that girl. Third season, nobody talking to you. Like, I just feel like she really let the first season chatter get to her head. And in the words of Carlos King, you're only as good as your last season. And second season, we were starting to see her try to turn the girls on Taylor. Everybody and they mama knows, though, that Taylor is the one that brought these girls together. So none of the girls are really ever going to go up against Taylor. They want more for Taylor in that crazy relationship she's in, but they're never going to really go up against her because this show was brought up because of her. As I'm reading this, something just came in. Something just came in as I'm reading this with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So Miranda, the blonde, super quiet, very humble, is now she has to pay credit card debt after missing court. Let me read this article from Reality T, if I can. Oh, they want me to rotate my device. Okay, let's try to get it up because I just saw that. And I was like, not Miranda having credit card debt. Let me see. They want me to rotate my freaking thing just so I can see the article. This just came in. I want to see how much money she owes. I'm trying to get it up. Okay, so it says... Okay, after all, blah, blah, blah. Oh, wow. So Miranda from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives owes over $12,000 in credit card debt. At the end of season 2, now it seems that Miranda is experiencing some financial woes. U.S. Weekly reported that on August 21st, a default judgment in the amount of $12,849 was entered against Miranda. Discover Bank requested that interest and fees be paid to the original amount owed, and the court agreed in September 2024. Discover Bank filed the lawsuit alleging that Miranda hadn't paid her bill for $12,400. According to the court papers, attorneys claimed that although demand was repeatedly being made up, payment has not been made on the account. As a result of the services provided at McWhorter's, that's her last name, request, Discover established an account with McWhorter. McWhorter defaulted on the account by failing to make payments as they became due. Meanwhile, Miranda was served with legal papers on February 8th, 2025. Her then husband, Chase, contacted... Oh, wow. I didn't know they were married at the beginning of this. Chase contacted the process server and reportedly stated that they were working with a debt relief agency regarding the debt. However, neither Miranda nor Chase responded to the court regarding the case. Yikes. I'm sending that to some folks I know because that is the latest tea. It don't stop for the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It do not stop. Did I already send this? I'll be sending the same link sometime. I'm like, oop. No, I didn't send it. Well, it looks like she owes $12,000. All right, some other reality news. Frasier has been hospitalized after having a heart attack caused by quote-unquote vaping. I don't know. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. My friend's texting me now saying she just finished watching the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reunion while she was working, and it was a giant mess. Not shocked. Not shocked. Okay, so Frasier apparently had a heart attack from vaping. He vapes a lot. I don't vape. I don't vape at all. I know he vapes a lot, though. When I saw him, like, when you get that dependent on something, that stuff is scary. Okay, this is an article from People magazine. Let's see what happened. So it looks like Below Deck Frasier Allender revealed that he was in the hospital for a lung injury and a heart attack caused by vaping, showing that he's never experienced fear or pain like it before. I hope he really stops. The Bravo star 33 posted a series of selfies from the hospital room to Instagram on Friday after sharing that for the past few weeks he's been recovering from a health crisis. He said, I was rushed to the hospital due to severe chest pains and difficulties breathing. To keep it simple, I had vape poisoning and I have never experienced fear or pain like that. So that means you need to wash your vape as well if you have vape poisoning. That spasm. What else did he say? He said that the arteries supplying blood to my heart suddenly clamped down. That spasm reduced blood flow enough to cause an ST elevation, myocardial infarction, better known as a heart attack, not because of a blockage, but because my heart wasn't getting enough oxygen during the spasm. He shared he's grateful that he's still like being able to recover. That's what he's doing currently. And if this experience can help and he never realized something like this could happen, if this experience can help even one person rethink vaping, it's worth telling. So that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if he's going to stop vaping. He said the pain I endured for 24 hours was inexplicable. 2 rounds of morphine didn't touch the sides and eventually had to be given the strongest pain relief legal to administer in ER. And that only brought my pain from a 10 to a 7. I haven't touched a vape since this happened and never will. Okay, so he's going to stop vaping. We'll see. He said, I could have died for the sake of something so ridiculously stupid, so please do yourself a favor and give it up to Cold Turkey. We do not know enough about these horrific things, but I can tell you one thing, that was not cute, not even for the plot. And he like posted a bunch of selfies from the hospital. But we'll see if he stops vaping when Below Deck starts filming again. That'll be the true testament, because I know the guest he has is like crazy. But he says he's going to stop vaping after getting a heart attack, and hopefully he does. It's insane to me that that's what caused it, but I'm not shocked. In other reality topics, so we did get a surprise trailer drop. Summer House dropped their trailer for season 10, and it was the ultimate throwback. They used the first season's intro music, and I'm gonna play it. I don't know if I can play it on YouTube, but I can just play the sound. And let's react to see what's going on. I have some thoughts. You know, Paige DeSorbo's not on there. Lindsay Hubbard was cut back significantly. But let's watch this trailer. I just had it up. Let me see. Let's get it up. Okay, I'm about to play it right now. Obviously, this is for entertainment purposes, and I'm just commenting, criticizing. I do not own the rights to this trailer. It is by NBC Universal.
These friendships go back 10 plus years.
To the best summer of all time.
You'd like to think some of these relationships are unshakable.
I feel like I have awesome friends. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. Cheers.
Cheers. Sometimes I just am hold you tight because I feel like you really need me.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
You are my best friend, and I want you to be my best man.
Love you, buddy.
But in the blink of an eye, everything can change.
Hampton, let's go!
Oh my God, Amanda! This season on Summer House.
Kill him! Let's go!
Welcome to the Hamptons. We got some new people in the mix.
Love it.
Ding dong. That Ben? Holy sh**.
All right, mate. He's so handsome.
You're on The Bachelor in Australia.
A mannequin walked into a room and brought it up with a smile.
Ben wants to definitely sleep with you. I want to get lit and make out.
What the is going on?
I'm loving Sierra's energy. Same.
I'm trying to be more easygoing. Imagine it's like our engagement photos.
You don't care if I make out with Sierra, do you? Is it in the works?
It might be like catching feelings for her.
Oh, look at them flirt.
I think Wes is in love with you. Would you ever give him another shot? I do miss you.
I mean, yeah, me too. How could I not?
I wanted him to stop going out and partying, and he found a career where he goes out late and parties.
I played the biggest gig of my life, but Amanda couldn't care less. I don't know what matters to her anymore.
Kyle fell asleep at some fan's apartment and came home at like 6:30 in the morning. That's insane.
You know what I think we actually have an issue with? Compatibility chemistry, intimacy. What about that?
You need to let this mother know if you treat me this way, I am leaving.
She's given up. I feel like I'm like 3 seconds from like total combustion.
She is your family, and you're not making decisions together.
You're losing my mind.
And here you are making our problems again the whole group's problem. Calm down.
God, chill the f*** out.
You, Carl.
Me?
Yes.
You then. You loser.
Fighting Carl?
No, guys, he's not okay.
This is too much for me. I just want to eat shrimp and die alone.
OMG. That trailer was actually pretty good. And here I was saying last season we really need a refresh. I spotted like 2 new black people. One of them is gorgeous, and I think I saw a black man. And then Sierra. It'll be interesting. I always said it'll be interesting to see Sierra without Paige. Can she carry a show? Obviously, it's edited for one way. Now, I don't think Sierra would ever date Wes or Jesse. I think she would have fun with them. I hope she don't fall for West again. I can't. I'm going to reserve my right to speak about Sierra until I see it. By the trailer, I hope she's not trying to give this man another chance. Because in the words of Cat Williams, she has an unnatural alliance to losers. But Amanda and Kyle are going to have a rough summer again. What's new? Kyle fell. I didn't hear this story. This is news to me. So they kept this under wraps. Obviously, there's also rumors right now circulating that the two have been living separately. I didn't know he fell asleep at a fan's apartment. And Amanda, I hope Amanda divorces him. I do. But I think she genuinely thought like, oh, he'll get the parting out of his, system and then he'll be able to want to stay home. No, like she said, I wanted him to go out less and now he has a career going out. It's a conflict of interest. I just don't know if he's ever going to grow up. And then he's saying, I don't know if she's even interested in it. It was like, I thought you wanted to have a kid. I don't know. It actually looked really good. We do have In the City. I don't know when that's going to premiere. I'm assuming it's going to premiere in a like VPR Summer House way it did. When Summer House came on after VPR. I'm assuming they're going to play In the City after one of these Summer House episodes. We're going to get like a crossover episode. But it looked like a lot of new faces. I think they're ushering a new wave. Amanda and Kyle are going to be on The City. I don't know if they're going to continue to be on Summer House. A lot of people are like, can you imagine Summer House without Kyle and Amanda? I don't know. But I didn't think they would last this long. So maybe I can imagine it. I'm excited to see the new folks. Just new people, new energy. And I think we're moving in the right direction because I was always like, it is kind of time to hang it up. Speaking of hanging up, let's talk about VPR. That is your reality topics. Let's talk about VPR. I watched VPR. You know what? I was intrigued. I didn't take any notes on it. I'm just going to speak my mind. I was intrigued by VPR. Natalie is clearly the Stassi, and she's brunette, so I like how they're like, we don't need a blonde to fill Stassi's position. And I don't even know if she's a Stassi. She's kind of like a Kristen. She's kind of crazy Kristen, like early crazy Kristen. Her story's pretty interesting. How she, was dating this 54-year-old that works at SUR, came in on her off day with her parents, cussed him out. I kind of love that. Lisa looks good. They are filtering her stuff. She is trying to play the manager role. She was actually pretty open about closing Pump, which I was shocked. She was like, a lot of businesses just did not sustain after COVID. And we have a new group of people. And then who else stood out to me? Is his name Max? The guy Venus, his hair is beautiful. Beautiful hair. No people of color. No one's black on VPR. But I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect? I mean, it is LA. I expect a lot more, but I don't know. They did get someone part of the LGBTQ community. Demi seems to be interesting. Who else? This guy who's like, I think his name is Max. I don't know. The girls are fighting over him though, but it seemed a little all over the place. There was a lot going on. I wasn't mad at it. I'm glad I gave it a shot. Speaking of giving a shot, Kimora Lee Simmons, her show is out now on E. I think you can watch it on Hulu. I want to give that a watch. That's my girl. But VPR, I gave it a shot. I would give it a solid like 5 out of 10. You can tell some people are acting. Some people were just plucked down. But I do think we have some stuff, some meat and potatoes at least, because we were able to follow Max exiting because Lisa did put him on a leave because he was just drinking, training new folks, and yeah. So I don't know. It was intriguing. Let's get into Beverly Hills. I watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I gave that premiere a solid 6 out of 10. I made a TikTok earlier today just about how when I line up all of the Bravo Housewife franchises, we're talking. I'm excluding OC in New York and New Jersey. I don't watch OC. New York is not even in the game. New Jersey's not in the game right now. So when I line up the shows I'm currently watching that are Housewives, we're talking Salt Lake, we're talking Atlanta, Potomac, Beverly Hills, Miami. I'm not even about to bother ranking them right now because I'm not in the mindset to do that. However, when I say the weakest link is Beverly Hills, I mean it. I watched that, and I was one of those people that thought Garcelle, it was her time to depart. I'm one of those people in reality TV. Not everyone is meant to be on reality TV. You're not evolving as a person if you're still on reality TV. It is shocking to me that Kyle Richards is still on reality TV. The longest standing. Something got to give. You don't want to be the last one to leave the party. And I think Kyle Richards, I didn't talk about this in my video, but I did talk about Erica Jane. I think Erica Jane, her time's up. And I would have said that about Dorit, but now she's going through this divorce. So, she's pretty open about it. And it took her instantly, but I think she had to save her job because she was kind of sinking in the background. I don't think you have to have something going on every season. You don't need to have a storyline every season, especially when you've had rigorous, troubling times. But Erica Jane now, this has been about you not really trying to talk about anything. So you are dating, but you're not even trying to talk about yourself dating. And I just think Erica, it's like she's ran her course on the show. She's been on for 10 seasons. She's ran her course. And it's like crazy because I was watching earlier seasons of Beverly Hills recently. I'm like on season 7. And yes, that's earlier. It was when Lisa Rinna was on. It's like her 3rd season or whatever. 3rd or 4th. And this is before even Lisa Rinna kind of goes in too crazy and like does too much. But Erica, I used to really like Erica because I just thought she was fascinating. Like, you know, she got like this 80-year-old husband. You have this other life. You pretend to be a pop star for the gays and the divas, and then you come home and you're Stepford wife. I don't know. She was just interesting to me. And now all her interests, her credibility, I've seen her take zero accountability over the years regarding the whole situation with her ex-husband and, you know, taking people's money. She's taken zero accountability. She does not think she owes anyone any money. She does not want to give away diamonds and just, you know, make some right in the world. Your man was out here scamming folks and you had no knowledge of it. I mean, come on. So my opinion of Erica Jane has soured over time. I've seen her become very cold. And, you know, obviously legal problems will do that to a person. So when I watch her now, and I've said this for the last couple of seasons, I don't understand why she's still on the show and why she hasn't been demoted. And this season premiere, it was not a good one, y'all. I gave it a 6 out of 10, though. Very Selling Sunset opening vibes. Dorit has filed for divorce before Kyle has. I don't think Kyle and Mauricio are ever going to divorce. I think they both have agreed they've hit a identity crisis in their relationship. what is it called? I'm blanking. Middle age crisis or whatever. Like, I think they're both having that. I think Kyle still loves Mauricio. I don't think Mauricio loves Kyle. I think he loves this independence. Kyle looks good though. I'm glad when she like cuts her hair and like does it like, because she just has so much hair and sometimes it just looks like limp lettuce. Like, it's like, girl, you might need layers to just like get something. You need some volume because her hair is always just so boring. But Dorit has officially filed for divorce against PK, and she's been really open about it. When she saw those pictures of him hugged up on the street, and she also thinks when he saw, you know, Mauricio over here living a good life, hey, it's not that bad being divorced. PK like, okay, let's do it. He's like, let's play. Is he sober still? I don't even know if he's sober still. I feel like that was also like a thing, like for the courts, like, oh, I'm maintaining a sober lifestyle. I hope he's sober. I don't think he's sober though. Because she didn't answer the question at the reunion. I don't think he's sober anymore. I think he's back on his partying stuff, gambling. She's very open about that. We get the intro of the fabulous Rachel Zoe. I never watched the Rachel Zoe project. The people love Rachel Zoe. She's fabulous. I'm interested in her because I've never seen her on reality TV, and she seems also very open. She is looking forward to having a hot girl summer. She talks a little bit about like what happened in her marriage. She's going through a divorce. I didn't realize she was with her husband for that long. They were together 18 years before they even had kids. They were together for 27 years. She said the relationship really got strained when they decided to get into business together. That is why they are where they are. And he just became very like, the clips I saw, he came off very dickish, very mean. Yeah. But he already has a new girlfriend, and he's been dating this girl for the past 10 months. And she said, you do the math. There may have been some overlap. What else is going on? We see Bose. Bose had a really nice confessional. I was very tough on Bose last season because I was really disappointed how we have these two Black women existing in this predominantly white space. This is the same reason I got upset with with Kiki Monique, with Gertie on Miami. We have these two Black gorgeous women in dominant white spaces in rooms, and you can't throw each other a life raft. I just thought Bose was very quick to turn on Sutton, who had brought her on the show, and also just be an instant op of Garcelle. And I know Bose has seen that reflected on social media because the people have came from her nonstop. I'm willing to give Bose a better shot this season. Like I said, I will be the first one to admit I was a little tough on her. I did call her some things. I don't know if I call her names. I was just kind of like, girl, where is your integrity? I was expecting a little more sisterhood, and it seems as though she came on the show and instantly was like, I gotta get in with the white women. She was like, F Garcelle. And I think the whole, like, if I was Dorit, I would have sued Garcelle. You don't even know the story. I just think for her to come on and instantly be on Dorit's side when Dorit and Garcelle have had friction regarding race, it just made me look at Bose differently. And then there was like the rumors about her past places she worked at. And obviously they're just rumors, but it's just this thing that she likes to be the only Black woman in the room. I'm going to give her a shot. It's her sophomore season. Let's see what she does. Let's see what she does with it. She has an amazing confession in this pink dress. It's off the shoulder. Hair is like half up, half down. I thought she looked really good. We see her and Keely are still going strong. I'm assuming we're going to see the engagement play out this season. Like I said, I'm going to give her a chance. I'm confused, though, with her and Sutton filming because I thought their homes were wrecked in the Los Angeles fires. But it looks like they're in the same homes. So I don't know. But I know the reunion is filmed after the season. I don't know. I just feel like, why? I was confused about, because Sutton and I Am Weak. I sent that Secret Lives of Mormon Wives story to this group chat, and they said just pay the minimum. I Am Weak. That girl owed $12,000. What is the minimum of that? $35,000. She wants to be paying that for a hefty time. Not just pay the minimum. Anyway, I am confused because it looks like Bose and Sutton are both filming in their houses, and I'm like, I thought y'all houses were burned to the ground. Because it looked like Bo still got the same wallpaper up, which is gorgeous. What else happened? Erica's talking about, like, you know, Tom in his sentencing. She says she doesn't really want to see him. We see this. We see this every season. Erica, I think your time's up. You don't want to be asked to leave. You want to leave on your own terms. You want to leave on your own terms. I think her and Kyle should really leave. But I am excited to see Kyle's daughter get married. I was also weak at her because if you watch so there was Buying Beverly Hills with Mauricio and the agency on Netflix. That got canceled because apparently it was too much money to produce. Netflix pulled the plug on that and only got 2 seasons. But on that, we see Farrah decide not to go through with that engagement. She said things just changed when they were engaged. Like, she had asked that man to propose, and then because he was like pulling his feet, he finally proposed, and she said things did change. So we know that. But I'm just weak that Kyle was like, yeah, like Farrah was engaged, but she's decided not to go along with that anymore. So now we're going to see Alexia get engaged. I did make a video on why the heck Lisa Rinna was at the wedding, given everything that's going on. We know Kim Richards was not there at the wedding, but I am excited to see the planning. I do like Kyle's family, her little girls. That is crazy how they all look like. Sophia looks more and more like Kyle now, which is crazy. Like, just they're all gorgeous women. And I would say Portia now is looking more like Alexia, which is crazy. But yeah, it's just crazy watching them grow up because Portia used to be like 3 years old on Beverly Hills. So yeah, it looks like the next episode we're going to see this Amanda girl who I think was going to bring some new energy. Sutton is kind of finding herself kind of lost within the group because, you know, Garcelle's not there. I don't really feel bad for Sutton. Garcelle was brought up twice in the premiere episode. They're trying to figure out why Garcelle left so crazy and quickly, and they can't figure it out. I just don't think it's for them to figure it out. I think Garcelle was very displeased with how she felt ambushed, but she just wasn't expecting them to come for her at the reunion. She quit. She's moved on. She's doing great. She's prospering. I am shocked how much they brought her up because I think when Lisa Vanderpump left, they didn't bring her up as much as I feel like they brought up Garcelle a lot in this episode. But, you know, Sutton also is going through an annulment. I didn't know you can get an annulment 27 years later. I don't know how long it's been since she's been divorced, but in the state of the Catholic Church, apparently an annulment is good. I think he's trying to remarry, which is why he wants to get it annulled so it doesn't exist, basically. And now her last name is back to Sutton Frank, I think. It went from Foster to, I don't know, she's not going by Foster anymore. I think she has to drop her name, at least in the Catholic Church. So that sucks. And then, yeah, she got rid of Avi. So Sutton's going to have a difficult season ahead of her because she doesn't have the Garcelle support. It looks like Jennifer Tilly's coming on the next episode. And yeah, the ladies don't really trust her, you know? And it'll be interesting to see what Dorit does with that. I think Dorit enjoys kind of kicking Sutton while she's down, vice versa. The people say, I don't know, I'd be over Dorit. Dorit is also someone that when she initially started, I don't think I ever really cared for Dorit. I always thought she was an imposter. So it's whatever. I even feel like she's impostering the most. Confessionals wise, Bo stood out to me. Of course, Erica Jane looked good in her one red piece number. And yeah, I think Kyle looks a lot better with lighter hair and just layers. Her hair looks a lot better. But that's in terms of Beverly Hills. I gave it a solid 6 out of 10. The only reason I watched it was to review it for the pod. I don't know if it was like amazing, you know, but let's move on to Potomac really quick. Nothing really happened in Potomac. I'm weak. Nothing really happened in Potomac besides like Giselle and Monique having a sit down and then Stacey, you know, having her Shio event, which I do want to talk about, but I'm only going to talk about like this whole Giselle and Monique sit down because I will maintain this. I did a deep dive of Monique and Candace, you know, their friendship fallout and you know, how it escalated, how I think Giselle had a lot of influence. I think Ashley did as well. And I always said in that breakdown, make sure you guys give it a listen, there's 2 parts, that Monique has wanted to sit at the cool girls table. And it just proves to me in this last episode that she still wants to be at the cool girls table. You have sat down with Giselle. The only reason is now, according to Watch What Happens Live, Monique said their conversation was a lot deeper that was shown. So I'll give her that. But you now feel bad for bringing out the binder to Giselle because you ran into her daughter. And she's like, oh my gosh, her daughter's so gorgeous. Like, your daughter's so pretty. I just felt bad that I did that to your family. Girl, this girl was lying about the paternity of your child, and you feel bad about that. And that's how I know I'm not healed. Maybe I'm not there yet in life. Because Monique, every time I see her, and then it's like, you can apologize for that, but you still take no mercy, no sympathy in what you did to Candace. But Candace don't even want an apology. Like, we can stop asking for it because you apologized a year late. You apologized at the reunion, whatever. But it's just crazy to me. She knows she reacted wrongly, but there's a part of Monique that still blames that fight on Candace. The whole drag me Monique. When honestly, it should have never even got to that point. First of all, Candace was drunk. I really dare you guys to go back and watch that fight. Candace was already drunk at the winery. Y'all were kikiing. You get in her face and you said you felt threatened by little old Candace. You do not feel threatened. But she's sitting there with Giselle and she's like, she's apologetic to Giselle. And I'm like, you still want to be this broad's friend. What does Giselle have on these girls? Giselle can get you on and off a show. Maybe that's why. But something about Monique, ever since the fight, I used to like Monique. But then when she dragged Candace, my opinion of Monique changed. And something about Monique is just so pretentious and it's just so fake to me. It's like, you're still over here looking for approval from this Giselle character, when Giselle is the one that really got you all riled up in this mess. She's not a friend. She's still jealous of you. And you're over here apologizing because of the binders. The binders was the least you could do. You saved her from another headache. And she's over here like, oh, I felt bad when I saw your daughters. They're so pretty and grown up. Who cares? Giselle made up lies about the paternity of your kid. I think one of them outweighs the other. So every time I see Monique, I'm like, you are so thirsty. You are still so thirsty to be in with the cool girls. So that's genuinely how I feel. She did say that Giselle has an issue getting involved in relationships. And I still stand by that. But at the end of that, for that to be an apology for Giselle, like, I understand, like, you probably did have some misdirected anger because you were in a relationship where you were faking the funk. You're pretending everything's good. I can understand you projecting a lot during that phase. Because I said, you guys really go back and watch. I'm telling you, I just did a deep dive. When you really go back and watch season 5, Monique was looking for a reason to fight anybody that night because it had been a trifecta of events, lead-ups that had happened, because Candace had also canceled on the podcasting because you guys got back from vacation. It wasn't a good thing. So her canceling on the podcast, I'm assuming her podcast stuff didn't go anywhere. She did this whole production, spent all this money, and only was selling, like, I think she had only sold like 30 seats, and she like put all this money into this whole live production event. And then one of the main couples is canceling because her show was supposed to be on like relationships in their different eras, and Candace and Chris were newlyweds and they were supposed to be on the show, but things had gone Ari, what is the word? AWRY, you know what I'm saying? Ari? Things had gone wrong in their relationship, so Candace wanted to cancel because she didn't feel comfortable supporting you at her event. So that was that. I remember it was like that episode. And then Candace shows up already drunk, and she's like, we have to cancel things. Provoking a little. She was provoking, but I also think they had hugged each other. So, like, I don't know. I just feel like Monique was very upset that season because of the questions of the paternity and stuff. And I just feel like her stuff should have been directed to the right person. And the right person would have been Giselle, Robin, and Ashley and them. And as soon as you did that, you see how cold the group treated you. And now you're still over here begging Giselle for forgiveness. I look at Monique and I'm like, girl, you got to figure out what it is inside of you that you still want this old broad's approval. Because Giselle has said it. She says she really do not care. She knows at the end of the day she's here to produce a show. And she don't care about you. You guys will never be friends. You'll never be friends. And Giselle nailed you to the cross after your behavior. There was no support or sisterhood there. But you're still seeking. She's still seeking. Greg has went shopping. So we had no K this episode, which I was completely fine with. I don't know if you guys noticed. We really didn't have Angel either. Besides Greg going ring shopping. Greg said she would be fine with whatever. Kay's mom clearly was not comfortable with that statement. I don't know. Are they married yet? Are they engaged yet? We'll see at the reunion. I don't think they're going to be together. And if they are, I don't think it'll be last longing. I'm not for counting anyone's pockets. Now, did a brother look stressed picking out some rings? Yes, it did, because those were definitely 6 figures. I think he looks stressed, and I don't think he should feel pressure to purchase a huge ring if he cannot afford it. I will never understand why people purchase these huge rings. Gorgeous, but you can get a good ring, a beautiful ring, at a good price that you're not going to be paying off for the rest of your life. Because think about that. You're trying to do the extravagant wedding. Kay's going to win an extravagant wedding. She's going to win an extravagant honeymoon. And then you still got 3 babies. And then you are a social worker or you do social work. I don't know the difference. But I'm just saying, I don't know. He seemed like he was trying to keep up with the Joneses. Just like when he seems like he's trying to keep up with the Joneses, giving her a wad of cash to go to the Derby. I don't know. I'm just like, don't spend your whole life earning trying to impress this girl on TV. Sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't. And I think it would be more meaningful for her to have a nice ring that is acceptable to your price and her have the celebration of her life because she wants it. She is 38. She's 37, 38. She wants to get married and have children. And she's going to have to start freezing her eggs soon. Like, it's just some real stuff. So people are making fun of Greg, but I'm like, he may really feel pressured to provide his lifestyle for her, and he probably just don't got it. Just like Josh don't got it. But Ashley don't even know Josh's finances. I don't like Ashley. I'm not even going to talk about Ashley because I'm over her. I want to go to bed. Ashley puts me to bed. Ashley and Stacey get into it. Ashley tells her stop being a lying ass hoe. And I'm just like, why are you... But I'm about to get on Stacey real quick because I had to look at the mic. Stacey, why did you feel threatened to have Wendy at your cannabis event? You're like, I don't think it would be a good move. So that's a little weird to me when out of all the women, the one that should be upset is not upset, and it's Wendy. But you didn't want her to get ideas of what you're doing, so you didn't want her coming to your launch event? That's weird. That's weird. I would take note of that. I think that's really weird, but you invite all these other women that really could care less. Stacey and Tia go back and forth, and if I'm being honest, I don't know what they're going back and forth about. Tiermo did not want to come to dinner, and Stacey, now we know why she didn't want him coming, because the last time, though her and Wendy are cool, or I thought they were cool, and I gotta watch the after show. I didn't get a chance to watch the after show. I was catching up on so much today. So maybe I'll understand it more once I watch the after show and she'll explain it because she sits with Wendy during the after show. But as far as I understand, she wasn't comfortable with Tiermo being around Eddie and Wendy because the last time he had seen any glimpse of them was at the reunion, was watching the show, and basically them insinuating that she had hired TJ. So she didn't want Tiermo around them for that because she's still trying to figure that out, though she relies on Wendy as a friend in the group. So I am confused with her conflicts with Wendy in the group because I'm like, is this your friend? Is this not your friend? But Wendy throws shade at her too. They both throw shade at each other, but I am shocked that she's like, I'm not comfortable with him being around the two yet, just like you aren't comfortable with her coming to your cannabis event. Honestly, this episode was fine. The Giselle Monique thing is the one that I really wanted to speak about because I'm just like, I still see this girl. I still see Monique as this young woman that is still looking for acceptance from Giselle. And I'm just like, girl, why? But yes, that is everything we watched. Like I said, definitely watch Owning Manhattan. Welcome to Derry. And then I'm going to try to watch Kimora. But there's so much stuff on. Summer House premiere is for February 3rd. Oop. Not me burping. Like, I felt it coming because I just had some water. Excuse me. What else is going on? And then, of course, we have Beverly Hills that comes on. I might talk about Beverly Hills again. Like I said, it was a solid premiere, but I'm excited for this new girl to come in because I just think they need a refresh and they can get rid of some old hags. They can also stop the edits. The edits aren't necessary. But yes, that was Toxic Tuesday. There will be a What's the Reality this Friday, and I'm really excited for that topic. I say that about all my topics, but I'm excited about this topic because I've taken a break from like the friendship fallouts and stuff, and I've just been focusing on some things that are lighter towards the end of the year, interesting. And this one makes really sense, a lot of sense, given of what the reality topics were. So definitely stay tuned for that, and I will see you Friday. And yes, thank you so much for listening.